Top of the morning, top of the morning. What's up, good people? What the business is? What y'all got going on this morning? What's up? Oh yeah, you on my side of the bridge. Yeah, for a minute. One of the young guys I work with, man, got a situation out here. What's this statue about right here? Archbishop John Carroll, 1735 to 1815, ardent patriot and champion of religious freedom. Born in Upper Marlboro. Oh, I didn't know that. On this site, first Catholic bishop of the United States, founder of the Georgetown University. Founder of Georgetown University. Damn, that's kind of crazy. I ain't really know that. How y'all doing? Check it out, though. Some little history. You know, I'm a history buff. You know what I mean? See what it do, though.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, and I go do that, but I ain't seen him in a minute. I ain't talked to Chloe.
At least I ain't gotta go up in this junk worry about if they gonna lock me up. But I've been working with this young guy showing him the ropes. Hopefully all goes well for him today. It's weather changing out here. It's time to hop in a new whip. These little BMWs looking pretty. Brother E, good to see you, my brother. Please, pleasure was mine. Keep it up, my brother. Salute. All right. Good job, bro. God bless you. I ain't doing nothing but just assisting the comrades, man. You know how that go. And it don't feel bad out here. Not too hot, not too cold. You know what I mean? Got this YouTube shit on. What's up?
How you going, Red?
Like that shit. How y'all doing? Good morning, good morning. I don't know. I might should have got me some breakfast, man. I don't know how long we gonna be in here. Free the men. Out front of the courthouse. Black power. I'm at the court building in all black. All the lawyers pulling up, man. It's crazy, man. I don't know how many of y'all ever been to court before. I'm quite sure a lot of people out here have been to court before, but you know, it's a big difference when you go into court and you the person that's the defendant, or even the family of the defendant, right? And a lot of time I go on court building just to support a good man. What's up, Snow? But you notice who got the most skin in the fight by the looks of nervousness on the way in the court building. I remember I used to have that same look. I used to be on my way to court. This when I was a youngin' though. Well, when I was an adult, when I had a court case, it was still kind of the same nervousness, but I had a better understanding of what I was dealing with. Cause I caught a case while on parole, and anybody who ever been on parole know that even if you beat the case, you can still go to jail. So I beat the case and then had to beat it again for the parole board, but I had a bad feeling in my case that the parole board was gonna lock me up for at least 0 to 8 months, but just so happened I beat that case too because the police locked me up. Matter of fact, I can explain that to you. I can talk about that. I caught a case in like 2013. They charged me with possession of a controlled substance. However, in the District of Columbia and in most places in the United States, know this, I want everybody to know this. Most field tests of drugs is inadmissible in the courthouse. What do I mean by that? There's a different standard of admissibility in a courtroom. You can get caught with, let's say you get caught with marijuana, for lack of a better term. If you get caught with marijuana and they field test the marijuana and it comes back and it says it's marijuana and marijuana was illegal at the time and you got arrested, before you go to court, that's enough to get arrested and get charged. But before you can go to a jury and a judge and your liberty be taken, which means you given some time, if that was the case, if marijuana still got you time, the DEA would have to really test your drugs again. And they would have to be a form. And this is all due process. They would have to be a form. What's up, boss? It would have to be a form inside your discovery that's a DEA 7, letting the judge, your lawyer, the government in the District of Columbia, that's the United States, the U.S. Attorney's Office, letting them know that your DEA 7 came back and what you was caught with was actually marijuana. Anyway, in my situation, they charged me, they said that I had MDMA. I said that I didn't. The field test came back and tested positive for not MDMA, but for amphetamines, which is basically what MDMA is. And for people who know those type of things when it comes to drug labs and forensic labs. I mean, and while we on a forensic lab tip in the District of Columbia, the forensic lab was ruled incompetent. Basically, it lost its accreditation. That means you can't even use it. They had to outsource everything that needed to be forensically tested and sent to a lab out of state to do it. So that's total incompetence. But nevertheless, they dismissed the charge. They dismissed the charge because it was a legal search and seizure. But I had to go see the parole board for the matter. In the parole board hearing, it was almost like a little mini parole board all over again with a little trial with the police there, myself there, my lawyer there, and parole examiner and my parole officer. My parole officer was off the chain. He was a little white guy that it came from Pennsylvania. And funny story about him, he was so gun-ho that even the parole officers thought that he was doing too much, and they transferred him to the people who started to supervise people with sex crimes. They put him on a sex crime load, but he had a thing out for me and anybody who had a quote-unquote gun offense charge. Well, I think that's, bro, I gotta go to court, y'all. Anyway, I had to beat it again, and I beat it because they didn't have a DEA 7. Shout out to the team. Free the Real Friday.